Hi, welcome to my channel. How are you doing? From whichever part of the world you're watching this video from, I hope you are doing okay. My name is Dr. Lupe and I make this kind of videos based on health. I also give medical advice and sometimes I create a public awareness on some of the diseases that people should be careful about. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about some of the things you should not give to someone who's undergoing dialysis. Although there are going to be two parts. So this is part one. In the part two, I'll talk about those things you should or you can't give to people who are undergoing dialysis. Because of course, if you know the things you should not give to someone, at least you should try to know the things you can't give to that person. So if you are new to this channel, you can support me by subscribing because videos like this takes a lot of time and research for me to bring out the best piece for you possible. And also turn on that notification bell so that anytime I release a video like this, you will probably be the first person to watch it. So let's get right into the video. So back in the days, when I was growing up actually, it was more like kidney problems were more associated with people who are older. Right, so most times when we hear people who have kidney issues, it's usually people who are in their 50s, 40s, sometimes 60s, mostly elderly people. But it was believed that those were the only age or only people that could have a kidney problem. But then in today's world, it's changing. The whole dynamic has changed in the sense that even young people, you will see someone who is at the age of 15, 16, 17, they will still be having kidney problems. And sometimes maybe it might not really be because of lifestyle habits. Some it could be genetic wise, some it could be hereditary or familiar. Maybe they have that particular kidney problem running in their family. And then some people it might actually be maybe an injury, externally maybe they are being poisoned or some or many other factors actually affecting people today. I'm talking about the young people. So we cannot actually say kidney affects only the older people, right? We still do say young people, the youth are also going through kidney problems. And so when I see that these days, there are so many factors which are influencing that in today's world or currently now, which I don't want to dive into because it's going to take a lot of time and I don't want the video to be too long. So the first things first, our main focus here is for those things you should not give to someone who's undergoing dialysis. And I'll tell you the reason why you shouldn't give that to people who are undergoing dialysis. So the first thing on the list, which I've planned out to talk about is you need to reduce the amount of salt you give to them. If it is possible, don't even give salt at all. The reason why I'm saying reduce is, kidney injury, there are stages. So some people, their stage actually, they can take salt, to a certain degree. And there are some people where you need to avoid salt completely. Some people, their kidney injury gets to a point where they will need a transplant. Those people, they don't need dialysis. The only thing that is going to help them is if another kidney has been, introduced into their body, because the one they have in their body is completely damaged. So in those particular persons, you might not actually be talking about salt. You're talking about a kidney transplant. And that one is a whole another topic that I don't want to go into. Then for people who are going to dialysis, there are some people where their dialysis, there's still also stages, right? Some people it's more severe, some people it's more complicated, and some people it's a little bit more acute, and then some people it's more chronic. So you might not expect the same person taking salt undergoing this type of dialysis to be the other person on the other side. But in a nutshell, anybody who is undergoing dialysis, you need to try as much as possible to reduce salt. In fact, don't even give them salt. Salt contains sodium. Salt is sodium chloride. So the kidney is already at higher. They are not at its peak. Their functionality is not as strong as a healthy kidney. So sodium kind of stresses the kidney. It kind of gives the kidney more. The kidney is like a sieve. So anytime something passes through the kidney, if it is solid or has a particular size, the kidney will filter it out. And so that sodium from inside is usually reabsorbed back into the body. Sodium is not easily excreted out of the body. Sodium is reabsorbed back into the blood by the kidneys. Now, that particular function has been altered if the kidney is undergoing dialysis because the kidneys are not strong. It's a certain injury to the kidney where dialysis is needed. So if you are loading the body again with too much sodium or too much salt, it's going to stress the kidney out. And even the dialysis itself might not even be effective. And there are so many complications that might even end up, with the person having to I'm not praying that for anybody, but the condition might even get worse. So you need to try as much as possible not to give them salt. If they can't even eat without salt, it's best that you shouldn't even give them salt. Now, the second thing on the list is, this is for the young people who are undergoing dialysis. You will see most of them, the nephrologist will tell them not to eat too much of, not to drink too much of this Fanta, Coke, and the rest. But then if you see some people actually are giving Sprite. If you go to some dialysis room, you normally give the dialysis person Sprite to take before undergoing dialysis. And also sometimes the Sprite actually is just to balance the electrolyte system or the electrolyte compartment of the body. But you should not be giving them that particular Coke or Fanta. Mostly Coke and Fanta. Don't give it to people who are undergoing dialysis. Sometimes the nephrologist might even tell you to try to avoid that, because you don't want to stress the kidney out. It's the same mechanism that happens with the sodium chloride, which I said earlier. So if you are giving them too much of this soft drink or carbonated drinks, it's going to stress the kidney out, and it might even make the whole process of dialysis become ineffective, and you don't want that. So if there's any soft drink, even if they like to take it so much, you need to try to help them to avoid it or convince them not to take it. They will come to a time where they will take it if the kidney begins its functionality, its full functionality. Then they can actually take those things without any problem. But if they are undergoing dialysis, please just make sure they avoid that completely. And then the third thing I want to talk about is alcohol. So in terms of alcohol, I don't even need to say too much about alcohol, because a lot of people know, you also know, taking alcohol when undergoing dialysis is not a good idea at all. In fact, your doctor or your nephrologist might tell you that is not a good, route to follow. Remember what I said earlier, that before, kidney problems were associated with people who are getting older, right? In the sense that these are people, the men actually. So let's say in their youth they've been taking alcohol, they're abusing alcohol, and it gets to a certain level where the kidneys become tired and then they have kidney problems. Most people were taking alcohol. So that was one of the reasons why it seemed like young people who are getting older that will have kidney problems. Because as a youth, your kidneys are strong. So even if you take alcohol, even if you abuse it, it might not actually manifest to being a problem until your kidneys start getting old, weak and weak. Because the more you get older, the more your kidneys loses their functionality, right? So the more you are taking the alcohol, the more the injury could actually arise. So if you are going through dialysis, you are undergoing dialysis, even if you like alcohol, even if you love alcohol so much, avoid it. Please do not. In fact, if you continue taking alcohol while undergoing dialysis, you might end up dead on that particular machine one day. Which I'm not praying for anybody, but I'm just telling you the things that could happen if you are still ignorant and stubborn. So sometimes the healthcare, the doctors might even advise you, even the person who's, the person who is handling the process would actually tell you that you should not take alcohol, most especially for those who are chronic addictors of alcohol. So for someone who is chronically addicted to alcohol, it might not actually be easy for them, because stopping alcohol could actually result to a withdrawal syndrome, and that withdrawal syndrome could also have its own complications. But you have to save the life first. So if you know very well that this alcohol I'm taking is giving me a problem, there is still no need for you to continue taking it, even when you are at a point in your life where it's either live or death. Because that dialysis is like the middle. It's the only thing that can actually help you recover or restore your kidneys function. If that dialysis is not there, to get to a situation where you have to get a transplant, and kidney transplant now is very expensive. You should have at least, if you are living in Nigeria, you should have at least 10 million naira. Yes, if you have, the least you should have is about 10, 8, 9 probably million naira for you to have a complete kidney transplant. And even if you have a kidney transplant, you are still going to be on drugs for the rest of your life. Because now once another kidney is being introduced into your body, you have to, immunosuppressant has to be given so that your body do not attack that kidney. That process alone still takes a lot of money, and it still takes a lot of resources. And you alone, you might not actually live comfortably till you die. So in order to avoid that, please, these things I've mentioned, try as much as possible as you can do not give, or you yourself, if you are going through dialysis, if you are undergoing dialysis and you're watching this video, please do not take this thing. So there are so many other things which you could also not give to people who are undergoing dialysis, which I did not mention in this video, but I'm trying as much as possible to make another video which will kind of comprise those things. And then the other video which will be things you can give to people who are undergoing dialysis. Just if you want me to make that video, if you want me to release that video, just put that in the comment section, and if the response is good enough, I will release a video on the things you can give to people who are undergoing dialysis. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video and also share to anybody who might have a kidney problem, or anybody who undergoing dialysis, or any of your relatives or friends who know someone that might find this video very useful. So see you in another video.